Oh, maybe you want her.
I think he sent his in too.
Oh, your gavel was right there. I'm not with it today, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
We gotta figure it out. The party was there.
Call to order, the Stephenville Town Council meeting for Thursday, December 14th, 2023 is now in session. Janelle, would you take the roll call?
Councilor Barker? Here. Councilor Brown? Here. Councilor Lowell? Here. Mayor Michelson?
Here, please plan for the pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Next is public comments. These are public comments from citizens on any item that's not on the agenda. Not on the agenda. None? Okay, then we'll move on to the approval of minutes. Town council meeting minutes of 11/9/2023. Councilmember Barker?
I make a motion to approve town council meeting minutes from 11/9/2023.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
There's a first, there's a second to approve the minutes. Any discussion? Any public comments on the minutes? Seeing none, Janelle, would you take the vote?
Councilor Barker? Aye. Councilor Brown? Aye. Councilor Lowell?
Aye.
Item number 5, approval of biweekly claims. A, claims 18685, 18686, 18688 through 18708, 18710, 18713. These claims are paid out of cycle due to the Thanksgiving holiday.
I make a motion to approve claims number 18685, 18686, 18688, 18708, 18710, 18713. Which is claims were paid out of cycle.
Is there a
Can
second?
I ask a question?
Yes.
I don't have them in front of me, but I think there's one on there for 20,000 to Denning, the auditor, and I was just wondering if that is the final.
What is the comment?
I'm sorry, I should have.
Either it's gonna say AFR or it might say, final on the budget. Or I mean audit, I'm sorry.
Janelle, warning at the ceiling on your camera.
I'm sure it was on there.
Yeah, it was.
It was on there.
See if you have a correction. Yes, ma'am. I don't remember if it was there, if it was on the second set line. It was on the second set of lines. That's for the AFR for 12,000. Yeah. Yeah. It's on the second
And
set.
is that the final then?
That's the AFR.
Okay, thank you.
So that's on the next set of claims that will.
That's, okay.
I still need a second. Councilmember Brown?
I'll second.
So we have a motion and a second on the claims. Is there any more discussion? Is there any discussion from the public on the claims? Seeing none, Janelle, would you take the vote?
Councilor Barker? Aye. Councilor Brown?
Aye.
And Councilor Lowell?
Aye.
Item B, claims 18715 to 18739. Councilmember Barker,
I'll make a motion to approve claims number 18715 through 18739.
is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? I'd like to mention that on page 4, 18732, the Central Square, that has to do with a state grant we got from the police, for the police department. It's a pass-through, and Gina won't pay this until she gets the check in hand, so she wanted me to mention that to you guys.
Which one is that, remember?
Page 4, 18732,
Central.
Central Square for $18,029.88. Any more discussion from the council? Any discussion from the public on item B on the claims? Hearing none, Janelle, would you take the vote?
Councilmember Barker? Aye. Councilmember Brown?
Aye.
And Councilmember Lowell?
Aye.
Administrative reports, airport, Mr. Will Rowe.
Let's see, we've got, the AWAS, one of the things I've been working on since September when I started. We had the tech from OSI was out today, and we started working some more on why this thing hasn't been working for years and fighting issues with them. We were always told that it was the system, it was bad, it was on and on. It's not the case at all. It's the radio. Doesn't have enough power for the mountains. It's too small.
Wow.
This is going to be about an $800 fix. It's in our budget. We'll start going through the process of what we need through them. I'll have their full report on everything tomorrow. We can figure out what exactly needs to be there, because the one that's there now, isn't big enough. Simple fix.
Good.
The fuel farm transfer and stuff's done. That's all up and running. We've been having a lot of fuel issues. We got that stuff worked out with Fuel Master and Choice. So, and everything up there is working good. We have another hangar lease that'll be coming in front of possibly the January meeting if we don't have the 28th meeting for a sale. And we'll have another one after that. So we're starting to get a lot more leases up there, which is good for the generating revenue. And I have a meeting next Wednesday on 12/20 with an aide from Tester's office. There was a $3 billion airport infrastructure bill that went out. I started emailing the aide got back to me. So we're going to meet on Wednesday to see exactly what we can get for the airport. There's no local match on these. This infrastructure bill that came out, it's just money we can get fixed and improve it, no cost to the town taxpayers.
Wow, that's
So
nice. Good job.
Thank you, Will.
I just have a quick question for you, Will. The fuel farm transfer that you were talking about, is this a different company that you guys are going with, or?
yeah, so Choice actually got sold.
Okay,
Choice in Hamilton, and that's who ran everything up there. And then they were starting to do away with 100 low ed. There wasn't a current lease on the fuel farm. There hadn't been. So we started going back with the new company that's there. Everything got rotated around. The new company that came in is an international company. They didn't want anything to do with it. They were just going to let it go. So I worked a deal with them to where the other business that I have up there, we transferred everything over and now we're managing it locally. And we just finished all our acquisition and stuff now. So
good job.
we can no longer have to deal with a company out of Pennsylvania that's managing our fuel farm. So
Thank you. Thanks, Will.
Okay, moving on to building department, that's in the report. Finance officer isn't here tonight. Mr. Motley, fire department.
So the report is in your packet for November. We had 18 calls for the town, 37 in the district, 0 mutual aid calls received and or given. 43 of the calls for the month were medical responses. We had 7 fire requests, and we had 5 motor vehicle crashes. So when you look at the 7 fire calls, that can be anything from a false alarm to an automatic fire alarm going off, or a confirmed fire. So out of those 7, none of them were confirmed fires. But they're still logged as a fire request or fire call. So we're right at 635 requests for service through the month of November. So we're right on track with what we normally are. We'll be pretty close to that 700 call requests for the year. So yeah, 504 requests so far have been medical calls. So obviously medical is by far and away the biggest request for service that we have going on in the fire department. Other than the stats, we did parade of lights on the first Friday of the month and get the lights up and all that stuff going. So things within the fire department are going well. Questions?
Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff.
Police Department, Public Works, Steve, would you like to get up and say anything, or you're good?
I don't have anything to add.
Okay. All right, so let's move on to new business. A, discussion decision, opening the bids for the town of Stephenville paving project. So before we get going, I'd like to read our town ordinance. Reception of bids, section 2401. The bids for contracts shall be opened by the clerk in the presence of the council while the council is in actual session at a regular, adjourned, or special meeting. After the bids have been opened, the contract shall be let or awarded by the council. The award shall be made to the lowest responsible bidder. B, the council may postpone action on any such contract until the next regular meeting after bids are received, or it may reject any and all bids and re-advertise. So with that, the council commission, I'd like to have our clerk get up on the podium and open the bids.
They haven't been opened? Is that
No,
what?
no,
Oh, I thought,
They're in there.
I misunderstood you.
I move that we have the Janelle.
Okay.
Okay, so the first one is from Knife River, 4800 Wilkie Road, Missoula, Montana, 59808. Bear with me. Go to the correct page here. Total estimated bid price, $823,949.30. The second one is from MR Asphalt Inc., 174 Black Lane, Corvallis, Montana, 59828. Total estimated bid price, $670,886.70.
What was that? 600?
7,
670,
8, 8.
just a second here, 886.70.
Okay.
And those are the two that we received.
Question?
So the way we structured this contract is it's gonna be the lowest of schedules 1, 2, and 3 will be considered a base bid.
Okay.
So we wanna read,
Sure, of course.
and so Janelle, they might, on the bid form, they're likely broken up,
I did see that.
schedule 1, schedule 2, schedule 3. So we may want to,
Do,
somebody has a calculator, add those
would
3 costs up.
schedules 1, 2, and 3 consisted of
Just Spring Street.
just Spring Street.
Yep, and then,
Schedule 4 is Railroad,
correct,
correct?
Yep.
Okay, we can do that.
and then 5 is, I can remember if 5 is Buck or 5 is
5 is Second Street, I believe.
from Buck to the park,
Mm-hmm.
and then 6 is West Third.
West Third from Main to Buck.
And then, so the town has the ability, the way we wrote this is to accept any combination of the 6 alternatives or the 6 scheduled items, with the first 3 serving as the base bid that will be utilized to select the low bidder.
So what is the price on the 3 options?
Well-
Basically,
We're gonna have to do a little adding, because the way that
ready for you.
the
I'm gonna add them up for you.
that the bid sheet runs is they run them all together in all the schedules, and then they add them all in the bottom. So schedule 1. You
Did they
think,
not break them out? Is there not a subtotal for each schedule?
no, they just ran them. You guys mind, I need to show this to Ryan. So what they did was, they just went out individual, but no subtotal at the end.
Yeah.
Ran it individual, and then subtotal at the very end of the entire project.
Okay. Yeah, so let's set up the first 3.
Okay? So, we will jump back to Knife River. No, we won't, because he bid it all as one, right?
Oh, he's right here.
Yeah, you're gonna. Okay. Knife River, Schedule 1, are you ready? 23,350.
Okay.
10,000. 500.
So 23,350.
And then what was the last one I just gave you? 500.
And then 10,000.
And then there was a 10,000 right before that. So you should have 33,850. Perfect. 3,220. 4,440. 2,220. 1,550. 1,860. 475. 7,140. 61,100. 2,400. $477.25. 980.
What did you get?
23.
119,000.
712.
712.25.
Say that number one more time.
119, 712.
25 cents.
So that's schedule 1, Knife River.
Schedule 1 for Knife River is $119,712.25.
that's for spring, correct?
That's for spring, the first section.
First section.
First section.
Schedule 2, Knife River, 33,000,
33,000.
15,500, 500. 3,220.
3,220.
5,920. 2,220. 930. 8,925. 16,920. $10,020, so 10020, thank you, and another 10,000. 83,200. 3,300. 476. And 980.
$195, 111,
0 cents.
yes.
Schedule 2 for Knife River, $195,111.00. Schedule 3, 21,800. 350. 10,000. 500. 3,220. 2,960. 2,220. 775. 930. 5,100. 37,700. 1,560. $476.80, 80, and $980.
$88,571.80.
Schedule number 3, Knife River, $88,571.80. And then schedule 4 is our railroad,
So we don't need to do that one, Janelle.
okay?
So we can read it out, but the low bid will be based on those first 3 schedules.
Correct,
For
correct.
the advertising.
Perfect, yep.
Yep.
What's the total?
He's gonna add them up for us, yeah? $119,712.25. $195,111. $88,571.80. 4033955. So all schedules 1, 2, and 3 for Knife River total $403,395.05.
That's pretty well in the ballpark, correct, Steve? Like 430 something?
It's only one street though.
It is only one street, you're right. MR Asphalt was the second bid that we opened. $2,000, we have to do this one more time, though. Thank you to both of you. $2,530. $4,393. $16,192. $2,605. $600. $12,240. $800. $1,200. $2,010. $300. $5,418. $60,277.50.
And Dunson,
50, 50. $1,012. $155.25. $1,842.
what was the one right before that one?
$155.25.
Is this Schedule 1? Excuse me.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got 574.75. So like $100.
You have 75 cents?
Yeah,
That would be correct on that, because there was a total of,
yeah, so we're off like, $7.
can we run one more time?
Yeah.
$2,530. $4,393. $16,192. $2,605. $600. $12,240. $800. $1,200. $2,010. $300. $5,418. $60,277.50. $1,012. $155.25. And $1,842.
Okay. 111,574.75.
Schedule 1 for MR Asphalt, $111,574.75. Schedule number 2, $1,350, $5,763, $22,670, $3,158, $825, $16,320, $1,060, $1,005, $6,772.50, $14,300, $900, $8,000, $82,080, $1,406.50, $236.25,
What was the 1,400?
$1,402.50.
Okay. And then what's the one right after that?
Right after that was $236.25.
Okay.
And the last one is $4,605. You guys ready? 1,350, 5,763,
5,763.
22,670, 22,670, 3,158, 825, $16,320, $1,060, $1,005, $6,772.50, $14,300, $900, $8,000, $82,080, $1,402.50, $236.25.
Six.
It's hard to say.
The first bid did theirs typed and these are handwritten.
So this is
we
gonna
apologize.
be 275 times 10. Fourteen oh two.
I was right.
So you're at
1402.50. Then you have the 236.25 and then the 46.05.
I got the same number twice.
Okay, please read that one out.
170,447.25.
$170,474.25.
447.
447, I apologize. MRA asphalt, or MR asphalt, excuse me, schedule number 2, $170,447.25. And the last one, schedule 3, ready? You guys have a little more shoulders.
Yeah.
1,350, 2,470, 11,596, 2,183, 430, 8,160, 500, 600, $1,005, 3,870, $37,192.50, 663, 216, and $2,302.50. Oh, you guys are good. There you go.
538.
$72,538. Schedule 3 for MR asphalt, $72,538.
For a total.
Second. $111,574.75. $170,447.25. $72,538. 354,560. 354,560.
So you have that system this year.
Okay, MR asphalt, total for schedules 1, 2, and 3, $354,560.
Say that again, please.
$354,560.
Hey, Janelle, did they both, acknowledge them and one? It should be on the front page.
They did. Yep.
We did. Yep.
So by ordinance, we take the lowest bidder, which would be in this MR asphalt, $354,560. I guess we need a motion. Councilmember Walker,
I'd like to make a motion to award this MR Asphalt for Spring Street in the amount of $354,560.
is there a second?
I'll second it.
There's a motion and a second by Councilmember Lowell. Discussion?
Isn't this something that maybe Steve would like to go over before we made a decision? I
Good, yes.
I mean, I think you need to go through this paperwork probably with Riley and make sure that it's meeting the criteria that you anticipated, I guess. So that would be my thoughts before making
So do we
a
want,
decision.
so we want to have them review it, and then we would bring it back under unfinished business, correct? The next meeting?
So, yeah, usually what we can do is we can review the bid, we can confirm that it is a responsive bid. The math adds up, we'll check their unit prices, make sure the totals add up at the bottom, and then we'll write you a recommendation of award. And then at the next council meeting,
For the word.
and then you guys can decide too, since there's 3 other schedules, when we get into the House Bill 355, if railroad or one of those other schedules falls within a funding mechanism that we have, maybe that is another option that we want to move forward with one of those other alternatives that are included as part of this package.
Should I resend my motion on that then with the,
You can, can't you?
I'd like to resend my motion for the award for M&R Asphalt in the amount of $354,560 to go for further review with Public Works, Stephen Lasker and Ryan.
And HDR.
And yes, correct.
I'll second that motion.
The motion and a second to have it reviewed by Mr. Lassiter and Mr. Riley of HDR, and then bring that back up under unfinished business at the next scheduled meeting.
That's correct.
Any public comments on this? No public comments? Any more comments from the council? Okay, with that, Janelle, we can take the vote.
Councilmember Barker? Aye. Councilmember Brown? Aye. And Councilmember Lowell?
Motion passes 3-0. Good deal. This is pretty well done on the spring. Okay. The next item is item B, approval to move forward with the process to apply for House Bill 355 funding. So Gina isn't here tonight, but she was in on a meeting last Thursday, I believe, a Zoom meeting, where she went through it with her, and I was in the other room, and then she came in and gave me the scoop. These are eligible products. We've got $140,000 the town was awarded, a 25% match. And the eligible projects are drinking water systems for wastewater treatment, fire suppression systems, streets, roads, bridges, landfills, streetlights, airports, public grounds and buildings, and projects that expand existing wastewater treatment plants that are expected or being operated at 90% or design capacity or greater. And basically, tonight, all we need to do is get your blessing to say that we're moving forward and we're going to prioritize which projects we want to do, like Riley said, if we want to use this money for Railroad Street, we can take that, move forward with that, and then we let them know that the priority is Railroad Street for example. Send that to them and say, okay, that gets the ball rolling. And then we have until March 30th of next year to break it down with the actual applications, send them in, have a public hearing, bring it before the council, put it into a resolution, it's a done deal.
I'd make a motion to proceed with the funding on House Bill 355.
Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
There's a motion and a second to move forward with the process to apply for House Bill 355 funding. Discussion? Councilmember Larson?
So what were the costs? Do we have a cost on what railroad was?
We could total that up quick and see. So we could total up MR asphalt since they're a little bigger.
Mhm.
We can see what that would be.
You see how close we are?
Yeah,
The other thing I bring up too is, do we know, and maybe this is a question for Gina, when, Steve and I are trying to talk on the side, there's a date that's due the 31st, I believe.
right.
What is good?
What's that?
Would you look on the page you showed me earlier, what has to be turned in by the end of this month?
Just basically that we're moving forward with this and that we're planning on, say, using it for Railroad Street.
Right, so
Or
I believe,
a project.
yes.
So then we give you a description of whatever project, be it
Right.
water,
Exactly.
road,
And
something.
you bring that back, then the council would say, oh, that's a great project, or the public may come back during public hearing and say, but what about something off the other list of items that are on there? Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we have something that's due the 31st.
Right, and
Yep.
it's
Just to
basically
say
saying,
we'd like to move
yeah,
forward.
we'd like to move forward with this.
Okay.
We're gonna use it possibly for this, and this. And Thomas DeDoran, who's the executive director, I talked to him on the phone today, and he said, you can just put it in priorities, you wanna, like, streets number 1, fire number 2, whatever, you could break it down, because you could use it for various projects all at once. So, and then it has to be in by the 31st, and then after that, we get going and we start to prioritize what we need to do with it.
The money.
And I believe Chanel earlier tonight, she broke the 125% match of $140,000 is about $35,000.
We do have that in the budget.
Yes.
So Councilman Barker had asked what that Schedule 4 total was. MR asphalt is $148,431.10.
So, what was it, 148?
148,431.10.
And there's also gas tax money coming in next year too, so we could use that to fill the gap.
The 140.
For the road, yeah.
Yeah,
Has
I
to
mean,
be
for this
used.
project.
As long as it's used.
So
directly
basically,
for roads.
if we're awarded the $140,000, then we need to have the $8,431.10. So we're really close with that.
So you'd actually be able to apply that match to another, part of the match would go to the 148, and then the remainder would go to another project, or?
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other discussion from the council? Any discussion from the public on the item? Approve the process moving forward on HB 355. Seeing none, Janelle, would you take the vote?
Councilmember Barker. Aye. Councilmember Brown.
Aye.
And Councilmember Lloyd.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. Item C, discussion decision, consent to the mayor's appointment of Jennifer M. Cyril as a volunteer firefighter. Can I get a motion?
I'd make a motion to appoint Jennifer to the fire department.
Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
And the first and the second. Discussion from the council. Discussion from the public.
So Jennifer is here tonight. Jennifer has signed up to volunteer. We've done a background check. She's cleared all the hurdles that we would request of her in order to be a member. She is also getting herself enrolled in an EMT class. So she is fully on board with being a member and serving the community.
Great.
Congratulations.
No more discussion from the public? No more discussion from the council? Janelle, would you take the vote?
Councilmember Barker,
Aye.
Councilmember Brown,
Aye.
and Councilmember Lowell.
Motion passes 3-0. Item D, discussion decision, consent to the mayor's appointment of Matthew S. Wilkinson as a volunteer firefighter.
So once again, Matthew's here tonight. Matthew is a resident of town, works here in town. He comes to us, he was a former resident of Missoula Rural Fire. So he does have firefighter one training and certificates, Swiftwater Rescue certificate as well. So yeah, and he's been through the EMT course and is still waiting to finish up on his final exam on that. And he's also volunteered.
Councilmember Lowell?
I make a motion to accept the mayor's appointment of Matthew Wilkinson.
I'll second the motion.
Been a motion and a second. Discussion from the council?
I'd just like to thank Jeff for bringing these people in front of us so that we do know where they are on the department, so we put a face to a name. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff. Any more comments from the public? Seeing none, Janelle, would you take the vote?
Councilmember Barker,
Aye.
Councilmember Brown,
Aye.
and Councilmember Lowell.
Motion passes 3-0. E, discussion, resignation of Assistant Fire Chief Lee Anderson. So that's it's in our packet there, while he's going to the rural, correct?
He's just stepping down from the position of assistant fire chief. He's still a member of the department.
So he's not leaving the department at all?
No, he's just stepping down from assistant fire chief.
Okay. All right. Okay, there any more discussion? Okay. Moving on to item F, discussion decision to nominate and elect a council member to serve as council president in accordance to town council rules, part.
It's only discussion.
Okay.
Yeah, you're okay.
Could I get a motion?
I do have an
All
email.
right, we have an email.
Yep, I have an email, dated Tuesday, December 5th, 2023 at 6 PM. And that came from Councilmember Brown. Hi Janelle, I would like to put my name in for council president until the end of the year or until we have a full council.
Okay. With that, I would like a motion to nominate Councilmember Brown as the council president. Councilmember Barker?
I'd like to make a motion to nominate Councilmember Cindy Brown as the council president until the end of the year 2023.
And I'll second that motion.
There's a motion and a second to nominate Cindy Brown as the council president to serve until the rest of the year or until the next council president is elected. Any discussion from the council? Any discussion from the public? Seeing none, Janelle, would you take the vote?
Councilmember Barker?
Aye.
Councilmember Brown?
Abstain.
And Councilmember Lowell?
Aye.
Motion passes 2-1. G, discussion decision, suspension of town council rules to cancel the December 28, 2023 town council meeting and authorizing claims to be paid out of cycle. Councilmember Barker.
I'll make a motion to suspend the town council rules to cancel the December 28th to 2023 town council meeting and authorizing the claims to be paid out of cycle. That's it.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion, we have a second. Is there a discussion from the council? Discussion from the public? Seeing none, Janelle, would you take the vote?
Councilmember Barker?
Aye.
Councilmember Brown?
No.
Councilmember Lowell?
Aye.
Motion passes. 2-1. Okay, H, discussion, town meeting being held starting in January 24th. This one's pretty important to me. We haven't had cow meetings like forever. We all know why, we won't get into it. I think this would be a great way to bring everybody back into the fold. Whether it's the staff, the council, me. What cow meetings are, they're just workshops. The public can come, but the public can't speak up. And there's no decisions made. And it's just a workshop, everybody gets together and they hammer out the details. And like the first one that I would like to do would be the job descriptions. They really need to be updated. I would like to start, I don't want to set a date, of course, it's a discussion, but at the next council meeting in January, I think we should set a date for a cow meeting and start hammering out the job descriptions. That way every staff member, every employee knows their job. And then they go by it. And I know there's times that things they have to do cross a little bit to help somebody else out, but they just need to be updated. And there's a lot of them in there that need to be thrown out. Just no longer we even have positions.
Don't throw them out, you might need them.
Well, that's true. That's something.
I'm a hoarder. Yes.
And then purchasing policy. That one needs to be really updated too. That we had a judge, when we had the recall, in his ruling said that the purchasing policy needed to be done in. And that was 4 years ago. So. Number 3, Janelle would know our forms and all that other stuff need to be updated. A lot of them are just been sitting there forever. I'd like to go through the fee schedule too. And what the fees are and everything, go through them again, get them updated, especially with a lot of the sewer stuff and everything with the development. Those are way outdated. I mean, they're paying pennies what the other towns are. Personnel policy, that's already been just done not too recently, but there's a couple little stipulations like Councilmember Barker and I, when we went to school, they said it was a year probation and it's still listed 6 months in the personnel policy. Little stuff like that needs to be changed. And of course, council rules. There's some things in there that I'd like to take. One of them would be executive comments. I don't like executive. It's the mayor. Anyway, stuff like that. And I think that when we sit down together with everybody as a group as a whole, and then we hammer it out, and then we say, okay, are we good to go to the next council meeting? Put that forward, discussion decision, we can tweak it at the end there and it's done. That way you don't spend a lot of time going through motions and all the other things. It's just like what we're doing now, discussion. I think that's the way to do it. Yeah, it's more meetings, but I think that way in the long run, that's what helps. And it builds a cohesion between staff and the council. Instead of just council meetings and out the door.
Well, isn't that also where we can bring in the different departments?
Oh, yeah.
And talk about
Oh,
different
yeah.
steps too, so.
They should be attended, because it's like their job descriptions for one. You know, I don't know if they want to be there for council rules or whatever, but you know what I mean, for stuff that pertains to them. So, okay. Board reports. Councilmember Rounds.
Airport board meeting, Will had his report, pretty much everything that was covered. Just a couple other little things. We have 2 people on the airport board whose term is done at the end of 3. 3 done over at the end of the month. So we're might have to reschedule the airport board meeting so we can get them back in to have,
Just to clarify, 2 that are up, but Kelly took a job.
right, two are termed out and 1, Kelly took a job. She's in Arkansas for a year, so there's 3 airport board positions open. Will did bring a name in for 1 person who has applied to be on the airport board. Will also noted that he's working on a grant. He found one out there. That's pretty much they discussed, maybe scaling back on some of the projects up there for this coming year. And mainly just, sealing some of the runways. SAFE is, having an aviation scholarship for down Stevensville for the kids up at the high school. There's 2 teachers here. Any of the students in interest in aviation, there's going to be a scholarship available. We heard, Will did let the airport people know that under MMYA, if the volunteers fill out their proper forms, they can run the snow plow. That's going to help up there at the airport quite a bit. That is about it. There is the fly-in with Santa on the 21st. And I,
3rd graders, isn't it?
No, for second grade, but we don't know what time.
Brian was going to get with the school.
I knew who I was contacting.
Oh,
It was a Katie somebody. You don't know
I don't know who that is.
that? Okay.
It's Mrs. Claus.
That was funny.
so Janelle, if you have time, if you could get that posted on the town website, that would be
I'll get a time
good.
from Will and we'll add it on there. Yes.
Second.
That is it.
Okay. Town council comments.
I just had something, I think, for years we had a COPS grant through the federal, which basically paid for an officer per year, 1 or 2 actually. And it was dropped, I think, by James for some reason. But I think that the town should look into that. I think February is the beginning of a new, it's through the feds. And it covered, everything there, all their retirement, everything. So, if we're looking for another officer, I think, it'd be well worth their time to look into the COPS grant because it would be helpful.
Good. Any more town council comments?
Thanks for bringing the Cal meetings back. I think that's going to be a big help for everybody. Hopefully we can get maybe some people in to do some more training too.
Okay. Councilmember Barker.
I'd just like to thank Mrs. Lowe for stepping up and being on the council
Thank you.
for us. Seems this is gonna be her last meeting. She will be greatly missed.
Thank you.
We'll have a new member coming in here soon, so. And then, I encourage those that, we have the open seat for Ward 2 on Mr. Michelson's position to put those applications in. If you're looking at doing something within the community, what a great way to start out and serve.
Okay, is that it for town council? Oh, executive report. Due to a technical glitch in the bidding process with HDR, the Stephenville Water Main Replacement Project on Mission Street is being re-advertised, and the bids will hopefully be open at a special meeting at the end of this year or next year, beginning of next year. And that's such a big project, that'll have to be like we did tonight on the street one. Take the low bidder, take it back to Riley, and Riley, they're gonna have to give them their blessing and give us an award letter on that, because that's $400 and something thousand. It's a lot of money. Public Works Director Steve Lassiter and I, we met with Water Rights Attorney Ross Miller on Tuesday. And Ross, I sent you all the emails about that, and Ross Miller updated us on the Twin Creeks mitigation rights, well one change application to place abuse expansion to add Twin Creeks wells. Wells 2 and 3 change application, place of use expansion and add Twin Creeks. Bird Fork Creek infiltration gallery change application. So you guys know that earlier this year, we didn't approve Mr. Jesse Reed's hookups up there for various reasons. Well, now, we need him because we need to have that easement there for those ponds and the aquifer out there and the creek that runs by. So,
What
but
creek? What creek
creek
runs
was,
by there?
Robertson Creek and Swamp Creek is on the south side of it. Robertson fills up a gravel pit that is actually on Jesse Reeves.
Oh,
And
okay.
that's part of the deal, for us to retain these rights, that creek water has to be diverted into that gravel pit to allow the water to recharge the groundwater, so we can just suck it back up again with our town wells. We can't get to it because it's on
Oh, and
Jesse's.
how many houses is he planning on?
That we did.
'Cause there's
We don't know.
several
It's speculation, we don't know, we don't know.
Because I think he has 3 or 4.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I think
We
that's
gotta
his.
talk to him about,
But the good thing is Ross talked to Jesse's attorney,
Oh, okay.
and she is very receptive. She said, yes, I think we can work with you
Yeah.
and make this work, so,
yeah, I think it'll work. It's just a matter of talking it out.
yeah, so. There we are with the water rights, it's looking pretty good. I'd like to say that 2023 was a good year for the town of Stephenville as far as infrastructure projects. With the water main replacement project, the street projects, and other stuff coming forward, 2024 should even be better. I'd like to wish everybody a happy holidays and a safe and prosperous 2024. And I'd always like to say that if there's any questions about town hall being closed the last day or two, that's on me. We had a perfect storm here where we had Janelle was out with medical issues. Melanie is almost coming back. She'll be back next week. And Gina, bless her heart, she got sick. She stayed Tuesday night when I told her to go home at 3 o'clock. And now she's home with the flu, possible pneumonia. So we had nobody. If there's nobody at town hall, I'm sorry. Colette Taylor come down and man the phones as much as she can, but she was doing work for Jeff and judge work. So she was trying to fill in like 3 different spots at once, running all over the place, which is nothing to call that. She does that for a living. But I just want to say that, you know, people have to pay their bills, and I know a lot of them like to come in and be social, but there's that little drop box out there that can just put it in there. So.
I have something. I think someone needs to be in the office. I mean, I understand
Oh, yeah.
A to Z might have someone that, a temporary person to come in, you know, because what if somebody had a warrant out for them and they were paying their ticket and nobody's there? I mean, that's the worst case scenario, but you know, it could happen. And
So
you know,
backup is what you're saying.
I think you need a backup because I really think the town hall needs to be
Oh, I
open from 8
agree.
to 5.
Like I said.
And I know things happen, but I think we have the A to Z temporary place and, you know, I think I just feel it's important to have it
It's
open.
very important.
And you know, there's things that happen, holidays come, whatever, but it's, you know, you'd have somebody you could call and say, hey, nobody's here, answer the phone, you know, take the water bills, people come in immediately.
Here's an idea. I think you're available.
I'm gonna say.
I'm too busy
Somebody
retiring.
volunteering here.
Oh, gosh, I have to sleep, I can't. But that's just my thought, and, you know, she would work, Jamie would work with you, I'm sure to, you know, maybe there's somebody at the senior center, it doesn't, you know, just someone needs, I feel, in there, to be in there, yes.
All right, with that, is there a motion to adjourn?
I so move.
Second.
So moved. The town council meeting every Thursday, December 14th, 2023 is now adjourned.
Back to retirement.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
It's only 5 hours.
Your printout is